What's up, everybody, to a new episode of Over the Top Talk. I'm here with my co host, Anthony.
How we doing?
And we got a special guest today, Leo, once again. How we doing today?
I'm feeling good. I'm feeling great. I'm feeling great.
All right. Last time we were in this call, a lot has changed since then.
Yeah.
Roman obviously lost his
Yeah.
belt. We have a new Intercontinental. We have a new women's. A lot has changed. But I guess we can start with Rhea having to relinquish her title on Raw. How do we feel about that?
I was very shocked, honestly. I didn't see it coming, honestly. I know she was dealing with some type of injury, but I didn't think it was like this serious to where she had to vacate her championship.
Yeah. I
And
thought they were gonna
obviously,
do like a
right.
Seth route with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And obviously
But
now
no,
her title is, on the line. Correct me if I'm wrong. Is it a woman's battle royal for the title?
yeah, it's a battle royal that we to crown the new champion come Monday. Yeah,
And
so
who do we think's gonna, come out on top and, have the
I
title
think
from that
I
one?
think it's gonna come down to three women. That's gonna be Liv, Nia, and Becky. But I know people have been saying since it's in Cleveland, they could have Alexa Bliss come back. But I think you should kind of save that for like SummerSlam. Because I feel like whoever is part of like the Wyatt faction or the Uncle Howdy faction, I think she's gonna be part of that. So I think you should save that for like down the line instead of just rushing it and build to that. But I think it's gonna come down to Becky, Liv, or Nia. But I don't think it's gonna be Nia, unfortunately, because I feel like she's gonna go to SmackDown the drive, and I think her story could be pretty much going after Bianca and Jake because those are two big feuds right there. And if you want to have her face Bailey, those are three big feuds you can have for her on SmackDown. Becky, I don't think she needs it only because it's like you literally just lost to Rhea Ripley at Mania, but you still get the championship. Like I just can't sit back and see that happening. But it's WWE at the end of the day, but I don't think it makes sense. I think for storyline, what they're saying right now, I think Liv is the perfect person to win it. Only because there's so much you can do with them with her as champion because you can build her up as a heel and also as a champion, and you can continue to build up her story with Rhea when she comes back. Because I feel like when Rhea comes back, she's going to be one of the most over faces in the entire company. And I feel like when you have her come back, it makes all the sense in the world for her to go after Liv Morgan and to try to get her championship back at the same time. So I think when she does come back, that's the feud they're going to go with. And I feel like if she's coming back at SummerSlam, supposedly you keep Liv looking strong for like those 4 months, and you can build to that feud. Who knows? Maybe you have Liv beat Rhea at SummerSlam if they do that championship as a swerve to everybody because people wouldn't see it coming. Um, but I think Liv is the perfect person with her character. She's pretty much doing this Drew McIntyre type of character right now, where she's pretty much one of these type of heels that what she does is justified in her perspective. So I kind of think that's something cool and it's something different because we don't have a lot of heels that are like that. So it makes her stand out amongst the women's roster. But I do think Liv is the perfect person when it's all said and done with her character and everything like that.
I agree. I totally agree with that. Only thing that I would say that could be different would be, she's on her revenge tour right now.
Right.
And if they want to continue that revenge tour and like make her more of a heel or kind of go deeper in that heel character, they can make her be like very close to winning it. And then right when she's about to win, she loses.
That could be. I
I
mean,
could
but that's kind of
possibly
what
see
they've
them
been
doing
doing
that.
this entire year. They have been doing that this entire year with the Rumble and Chamber. And she got left off Mania too. So I don't know. She's kind of been taking losses back to back to back. So I feel like you kind of have
Mm-hmm.
to give her the win here. Only because it's like with everybody right now, it's crazy to think that a lot of people are actually picking Liv Morgan to win. And I feel like just think about this. What if think of the heel how much heat she can get if she wins the championship, and then later in the show she goes up to Dominic and she says, "I'm your mommy now." Now that would get instant heel heat, and you can. And I think her whole thing is to take everything from Rhea Ripley. She put her
Yeah.
on the shelf. She takes her championship, but she doesn't stop there. She tries to take the Judgment Day, and she succeeds to an extent by aligning with Dominic. And then when she comes back, she's gonna have to deal with the Liv, and now Dominic being in her corner too. I think that would be a crazy storyline, but I don't. I think it can actually work because Liv, she's one of those type of characters that I think it could work with her, especially with her motive, pretty much trying to take everything. Why not go for everything that Rhea cares about? She cares about the championship. She cares about the Judgment. She cares about Dominic.
Yeah.
Real Morgan should go after everything she cares about. That's what I want to see. I want her to go after everything that Rhea Ripley cares about, and that's gonna build up Liv Morgan as a heel character.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Kind of sidetracking a little bit, but now with Rhea out of Judgment Day, do we, we kind of saw it on Raw, when Jey Uso was being attacked. Damian Priest didn't really get involved.
Yeah.
It was kind of more Finn yelling at him. So do we see Priest turning face like very soon?
Yeah, I do. I think at SummerSlam you have Finn and Priest go at it for the world title. I feel like that should be your SummerSlam feud, and you have Finn Balor win the world championship at SummerSlam. I think that's his moment. They could kick. I think what they could do, and I know this goes back to what you said with Rhea. If Liv does turn and she aligns herself with the Judgment Day, and she works her way in, and she also aligns herself with the Judgment Day, and they kick out Priest, that's gonna make things even more intriguing for when Rhea does come back, because now you have Priest and Rhea on the same side, and you have everybody else on the opposite side with Priest, Morgan, JD, and Dom. That's going to be something interesting. That's something I can buy into, because now you're having the dynamic be completely different. The Judgment Day is completely different, because I think that's the main two characters that I see leaving the Judgment Day. I feel like we're going to be Rhea or Priest or both. I think Priest, with his promo that he had, I think his promo package, it came off as a babyface like promo package. And I feel like more people are starting to get behind him as a babyface, knowing what he's went through to get to where he is, being homeless for so long, and everything that he had to go to just to get to the WWE and become a champion, and being a top champion at that. That's a story that I think a lot of people can resonate with and get behind. And then Rhea, she's over. She's just over as it gets. She's a heel, but people cheered. And I think it was going to be a matter of time before they had to turn her babyface.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah, I'd love to see another Finn. Last time Finn Balor had a chance to have a title, it got ripped away, and he kind of has never been the same. So
yeah.
Yep. And I guess moving from that, I guess actually the first Backlash, match we kind of can talk about is Jey Uso versus Priest. But obviously, like we said, I think Priest, this is an easy win for him. I mean, I would love to see Jey with a singles title, but I just don't. With this whole bloodline story starting to form with the separate sides, I think we're going to see the Usos form together once again.
Most definitely. I think they will play dividend. I think with Solo and Tonga, I think both of them are going to play dividend in the outcome of that match. Maybe they get involved and they cost Jey that match when it looks like he's about to have the match won, only to have more bloodline interference and cost him the championship once again. I think that's what's going to allow, Damian Priest to capitalize on that. Or maybe you have a Balor down there and you can have some interaction between Priest and Balor, kind of teasing some things to come in the future. I think that's another thing that you could use that match for. But I do think Priest is going to retain that title. I think they still have some things that they can still do with him as champion.
Yeah. I think during that match, like you said, we're going to see Solo and Tama Tonga come out and attack Jey. I don't know if it's going to be after the bell wings already, but I think we're going to see a returning Jimmy Uso at that match, coming out to avenge Jay, to help him, because through the entire time, I don't know if you've watched the the WrestleMania vlogs they did
I
and
did,
all that.
yeah.
Jay always said that he'll always give Jimmy a second chance, no matter what, because he's his twin brother. He always have his
Hmm.
back, and I think Jimmy could return the favor to him, somehow, some way, because obviously, Solo beat like Jimmy near death with Tamatanga,
Yeah.
with like the chair in his throat, with the big thing in the corner. Like, there's no forgiving that. So I could
Oh no.
see Jimmy coming out, attacking Solo, attacking Tamatanga after the
Hmm.
bell, and yeah, I think that's gonna set up a match for SummerSlam or Clash of the Castle. We're
Or
going
Money
to
in the
get the
Bank, yeah.
yeah, the Usos versus Tamatanga and Solo, which I'm very excited. I think the match is gonna be really good.
Oh, it's easily gonna be a great match.
Yeah, main event.
The
Plus
Street
Jacob might be
Profits,
coming in.
the first of all, the these new titles that just got revealed
Yep.
on Raw and SmackDown. Obviously, I think SmackDowns are way better than Raws. I don't know why
Easily.
they robbed. Um, you know, I don't know why the Raw ones look like that, but
They look like a pizza.
um, but
Yep.
obviously we have the Street Profit, challenging A Town Down Under. Um, I don't know where this is. I don't know who's gonna, come out, because I don't know if they're gonna want A Town Down Under to like hold them, just because they've kind of been like entertaining with the belts, just with like pretending to be part timers and all like that. But
Yeah.
I think they're dropping it. I think they're gonna drop it to the Street Profits. To be real, I think they're gonna drop it.
Honest.
I got my reasons too, because we
Go
saw
for it.
last night they didn't shake Triple H's hand. We saw people getting mad at them. They're kind of just like in their own little world, thinking they're the greatest on top. And I think with them beating A Town Down Under, I think that will give them a new path, like rather than AOP, because that's getting really old. So seeing them kind of swerve, maybe winning that belt from them, that can give them a new path and a new like destination, better matches, bigger feuds. Because we know how good they are. We know how good the Street Profits are,
Hmm.
and obviously with Bobby Lashley too, um, they'll feel like their own tag team again. They won't feel like Bobby Lashley's like you know
Henchman.
two partners as henchmen. So if they win, they can be just as big. Well, not just as big, as you can't be just big as Bobby Lashley, but they can be like, on their own
Up
path
there,
to
yeah.
greatness. Yeah.
Hmm. I mean, I can definitely see that. Because I mean, with the landscape of the tag team division like changing, and it's gonna get more intriguing, especially with the draft coming up.
Hmm.
Honestly, I feel like as much as I would love to see Street Profits win, I think in the draft, I think there's a possibility that they could split Montez up from them and have him be on his own singles run, which is why I feel like A Town Down Under is going to retain, because I feel like you can get more mileage out of them as a tag team and tag team champions, and ultimately build to some tension between the two, because it goes back to what happened previously, where there was some tension going on between Austin Theory and Grayson, where Grayson was pretty much making matches on Austin Theory's behalf. Like when him going up against Randy, Austin Theory wasn't really too keen of that. He didn't like that. So I feel like you can continue to build more tension between these two, and then have a blow off match, maybe going into SummerSlam, and then you can have both of those guys face each other. When now you have Austin Theory being a babyface for the first time.
Yeah. I have a theory. What you just said. Hear me out. I
Go
don't. This
for
is
it.
kind of going off topic a little bit, but with you saying the Street Profits getting split up, what if um Angelo Dawkins goes to Raw and Montez stays on SmackDown, and they turn Montez heel, like full blown heel.
Hmm. I don't
But
know. I feel like
But
he's just too
then,
lovable.
what if they do that and they have him join Bianca and Jade Cargill with like, because I want to see Montez and like Bianca like together in a storyline. So if we see them together as a heel faction, I think that would be cool, like really cool.
They could do that, but I feel like the thing is, I think they already said they don't want to turn Bianca heel anytime soon because she's just too lovable, especially with this amount of merchandise that she moves. So I think
Yeah.
the same thing could probably be said for Montez. I think what you could do is send both of them to, well, send at least, well, if you're going to send Montez, you're going to have to send Bianca. So send both of them to Raw, and you can have more time to build up storylines for Montez with it being a 3-hour show compared to a 2-hour show. So now you can get him in the mix for the Intercontinental title, and
Yeah.
maybe by the end of this year, you can have him win the Intercontinental title. And one thing he said in some interviews ago, he wants to be a singles star. He wants to win some singles gold. He says he
Yeah.
wants to face Roman Reigns again. And we can't forget, like, those two, they actually put up a great match. They put up a
Yep.
great match. He had a star-making moment in Elimination Chamber just last year. People seem to have forgotten that. This guy, when the opportunity presents itself, he can go. I think he don't even rule. I wouldn't even rule this out. Him being in Money in the Bank this year. I think he might be one of those guys that might be in Money in the Bank this year that can have some great spots, some great moments. Maybe you
Yeah.
can have a close call where he actually almost wins it to build more momentum going into the fall this year.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. Because we need to get high flyers in there. We need a lot of high flyers.
Ricochet, Chad Gable. I mean, the sky's limited for a lot of these guys.
Chad Gable,
And
like,
by the
as a
way,
heel-
talking about, I was just going to mention Chad Gable. We're probably going to see him versus Sami Zayn at Backlash.
Yeah, Chad Gable, now that he's heel, he's giving me a lot of shades of Kurt Angle right now, and I love it so much. Like, I love it.
Somebody brought up something I liked. With Chad Gable being heel, what if this has the opportunity to be Team Angle all over again, where he gets none other than the Creed brothers to join him, and they all pretty much, go after gold together? I think that would be a great faction. Having the Creed brothers turn heel and align with Chad Gable is pretty much being under Chad Gable's learning tree. That would be some great storytelling on TV to see.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. Yep.
Do we,
But
with
Chad Gable's
all these
winning.
releases, do we see, I don't know if they're going to do this, but do we see a possible release of, like, Otis?
I think it's possible.
It's possible, but I feel like with the draft, I say send them to NXT. I think you're gonna say send Chad Gable to like either Raw, or we'll probably send him to SmackDown. And you can, and Ivy, she's gonna be doing stuff with Maxine, right? More than likely. Why not just send Otis and Akira Tozawa both to NXT, or just send all the Maximum, or not Maximum Male Models, but Alpha Academy? Just send them to NXT minus Chad Gable. I think putting them in NXT, they can do some great stuff. I feel like Akira Tozawa, he had some great matches with Noam Dar in NXT. That was some good stuff. I think maybe having when we seen Ivar go up for the challenge for the North American title relatively soon against Obafemi. Hey, I wouldn't mind seeing Otis go up against Obafemi. I think they can actually put up a great match.
Yeah. I think talking about releases, I think unfortunately we might see the release of AOP and the Final Testament because
ouch, they were going in. I feel like they were going NXT bound. I feel like for the draft though.
Personally for me, they haven't been hitting. Like,
yeah, they haven't really been in a lot of great storylines, and I feel like maybe that's with the roster being very stacked right now. At the time being, and you look at someone like Kieran Cross. I mean, when he came back, I think there was a lot of hype around him, but it just fizzled very quickly. Like people were literally making the argument that he might have been the one to defeat Roman Reigns. I think there was a point in time where he was supposed to challenge Roman Reigns for the WWE Championship, but that never happened.
Yeah.
I think the thing with him is he was always great in NXT. I think his best work was always in NXT, they brought. I think when everybody thinks of Karrion Kross, main roster, they think of him in that costume before he got his release the first time around. So I think that just seems to follow him wherever he goes, apparently. So I don't know how you shake that stigma of being in that spot, but maybe them going to NXT maybe can do something, or maybe sending them to Raw maybe could do the trick, considering that they have 3 hours to work with,
Yeah.
considering they're on a show that's only 2 hours, where for the last couple of months it's been centered around Cody and the Bloodline.
Yeah. Believe it or not, I actually got Karrion Kross in his prime right here. Bald Karrion Kross from NXT.
And now he's on his hair tour or whatever he's
I
saying.
know. Yeah. I like him. I like him and Scarlett. I just don't like AOP. I
They
don't
should
know.
just let them alone. Let them
I
just be
know.
them. Because
Yeah.
they're supposedly they just recently showed up to NXT I think last week.
Yeah. I think seeing them go after like the NXT championships, that would be cool. Really cool.
Yeah, I think
Go
that's
up
what they're
against
gonna do.
Nathan Frazier and Axiom. That would be really cool.
And then having Karrion go after the North American or the NXT title. Because I really feel like Trick Williams is going to win that title. So I
Mhm.
feel like being that first feud could be Karrion.
Yeah. And with, Ilya Dragunov being declared for the draft, I think he's gonna lose at spring break-in against
Exactly.
Trick Williams.
Yeah.
And was talking about, the women's North American championship being debuted too.
Charlotte could be in there if you want her.
Yeah.
She can compete. People
Yeah.
think she cannot wrestle. She can wrestle. Look at some of the stuff on the indies and look at some of the stuff that she's done before her time in WWE. She can go.
Yeah. Yeah. And talking about that, what you were saying about Karrion Kross, seeing Obafemi, he's like a big guy.
Yeah.
He's going against Ivar. He had that triple threat match at Stand and Deliver. Like he's going in, and
Yeah.
Karrion Kross could really be a threat to his title reign. And I know how people would keep the argument that he already went through NXT, blah blah blah. But we saw the same thing with Baron Corbin.
Mm-hmm.
Baron Corbin went back to NXT, and he's having the best time of his career right now. He got to rebuild himself, and him with the Wolf Dogs with Braun Breaker.
Mm-hmm.
He fought Ilya Dragunov. He was in contention for the NXT championship. So Karrion Kross going down there, he can rebuild himself, become bigger and better than he's ever been, and maybe he can take that character up to the main roster, and then he can finally get over with the crowd.
That is really true, because if you have Karrion in NXT, you have a veteran down there, and he can work with the bigger guys. Look, you got to think about it. He literally beat Keith Lee to become NXT champion before.
Yeah.
He beat Finn Balor. Two household names where if you were to mention their name, people know who that is. We know who Finn Balor is. We know who Prince Devitt is. We know who Keith Lee is. We know who those guys are because they made names all over the world or even in NXT. So him going down there, NXT would be something good, because you have that big name down there that would have a lot of hype around him, and having that faction around it that would help him win the title. So it would, even if they did put the title on him, it would still keep Obafemi looking strong in defeat at the same time.
Bro, I know that would be, yeah. And now, with that out of the way, I think we should focus back on Backlash predictions right now. I think we have 2 matches made, like we already talked about, for the 2 championships.
Well, it's a possibility that the women's might be getting added.
Yeah.
Because I think somebody said, alluded to it, that whatever happens with the Battle Royal, it could spoil over into a match at Backlash. That's what I've been hearing. But we don't know.
Obviously, that same thing happened with Tiffany Stratton. Her getting involved last night against Bayley and Naomi.
Triple threat.
We're probably going to see that happening. Yeah.
Yeah, triple threat.
Yeah. And we're definitely going to see tag team titles getting defended there, one way or another.
Easily, yeah.
Do you think they're going to hold off that Montez, the Street Profits versus them at Backlash?
I think they're gonna do the Street Profits match at Backlash because because what's going on right now with Raw, I thought Awesome Truth and DIY were gonna be a Backlash, but they're doing that on Raw this coming Monday. So I feel like you're gonna have them be defended. You're gonna want to have both women's titles be defended. So
Yeah.
I feel like whatever happens with this battle royal is going to spoil over into Backlash. I know you said maybe a Becky Lynch wins it. I think some people said this too. I mean, like you said, her getting so close and then seems so far at the same time, and it just makes her go into a rage even more. Because I think behind the scenes, Becky Lynch, she wants Liv Morgan. She wants to help elevate Liv Morgan to that next level and wants to put her over, like she's been doing these other women in NXT. Her winning the championship could make sense, and having a short reign with the title, she wins it and loses it to Liv at Backlash 1-on-1, and Liv finally gets her win over Becky, because that is a story that they could tell. Liv never has beaten Becky Lynch. That is a story that they could do if they want to.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think another thing we might see is I think unfortunately Awesome Truth is going to be a rotational champion. They're going to be rotational champions.
You think they're going to lose on Monday?
Maybe, because I saw a thing. You know, DIY has been kind of over with the crowd recently. The crowd loves DIY, but they love our truth. They love our truth.
Exactly. But they know the thing with our truth is he, as much of a champion he's still that comedic character.
Yeah.
I feel like what they could have done is what they still could do is just hold kind of, maybe have a fluke win for them come Monday. And this, you can continue to build that up, and you can have DIY turn heel and have them take the titles maybe at Clash, or maybe have them take it at Money in the Bank.
Definitely. I agree with
that. Or if you want to, do it at SummerSlam, because it's in Cleveland. So they're going to get cheered as, faces when they go to Cleveland. So, I mean, maybe have them win it on Raw, maybe, possibly, if they're transitional. But if you want them to have a couple more weeks with it, do it at Clash, or maybe do it at King and Queen of the Ring, since that's later in the month.
Yeah, I agree with that. And about A-Town Down Under being the champions, because there's no doubt Logan Paul is going to go into SummerSlam as champion. It's his home. So I was thinking, what if they go into SummerSlam as the champions too? A faction of the three of them going in all as champions. Because I don't know if they're going to have A-Town Down Under lose, because there's a lot of PLEs happening before SummerSlam. There's obviously this one, Backlash, coming up. There's Clash of the Castle. There's King and Queen of the Ring. There's Money in the Bank. All those three. And my guess is that at least a few of them, they're going to be defending the championships. So do you see them making it through all those as the champions?
I can see it. I mean, with them being heel, like, you can always play that advantage of them doing any and everything to keep their titles, and you could kind of build that story with, because I feel like the team that I think is going to defeat them is New Cash Republic. I think those are the guys that I think are going to be the ones to take that title, because they were feuding before WrestleMania, and it seemed like, New Cash Republic were the favorites, but they can never get their win. You can have a situation where it's like New Cash Republic versus A-Town Down Under at Clash of the Castle. I think that's the match that they're going to probably go with, and it seems like they're so close, but they cheat to hold on to the titles, and you can continue building, New Cash Republic chasing them down for those tag titles.
Yeah. And it'd be really cool. You remember how they haven't done this in a while? They're talking about with Cody. When someone wins the belt, they customized it to look like what they want it to be. Remember that they've done that before? What if, like, this is also going off topic, but if New Catch Republic won it and they made it look like the NXT UK Championship?
That would be cool. I like those designs.
Yeah, because I cannot stand those Raw.
If they were on Raw, I would like it, because the tag titles on Raw just, ugh.
My bad. The World Tag Team Championships. I call it the Raw Tag. Yeah, the World Tag Team Championships.
Then you got the women's tag team titles look like they're going to be defended as well on Backlash because it seems like they're setting things up with Jade and Bianca versus Asuka and Kairi. So I think that's another match I think they're going to add as well.
And that's going to be a squash match, maybe.
Yeah, Bianca and Jade are going to win those titles, and I feel like they're going to have a long, lengthy reign with those titles. And I feel like they can actually elevate those titles too.
They're a walking cheat code. Like, let's be real.
This is a 2K.
Isn't Asuka like also injured?
Yeah, her knee is injured.
I don't know where she stands right now, but I feel like they're still leaning towards that. So I think that's gonna happen at Backlash, or maybe King and Queen of the Ring.
Yeah, but like I was saying, they're a walking cheat code. Like, who's gonna beat Bianca and Jade Cargill? Like,
exactly.
Like,
maybe you can build up a team from NXT or build up one of the teams on the main roster. I don't know. But when making those titles, is game over. I think the only time you see them dropping those titles is if you have Charlotte and Becky come back together. That's the only way I see them dropping those titles.
Yeah, that would be really cool.
Or like they turn on each other. That's really the only thing.
Yeah, I could see them possibly turning on each other.
Yeah,
like
that's Rumble.
That's kind of a dream match. That is kind of a dream match. But I think Jade Cargill winning a championship is definitely in the books at some point. 100% in the books. I thought, because I feel so bad for Rhea, because, you know, she had so much more to tell with her story as champion. I think she's going to get it back. Like, there's no doubt she's not going to get it back at some point.
I think she's going to, but I don't think it's going to be right away. I know people saying maybe she wins it right away when she comes back, but I think if she wins it, I can see her winning it maybe like Survivor Series, because I know she might be coming back for SummerSlam possibly with her injury. We don't know. I think mainly people have been focusing more on SummerSlam, so if that is the case, I think maybe Survivor Series or Rumble, she wins it.
Yeah. If they wanted to postpone it like very far in the future, I could see her possibly winning Money in the Bank. But I think either like what you said, Survivor Series, the Rumble, something like that makes more sense for her to win it.
Yeah.
Or maybe at Mania next year.
Unless she wins the Rumble, because I feel like she literally said she was going to take whoever's the champion, she's going to want it back in blood. And then she's also come back for Liv Morgan in the same sentence too. So I feel like it makes more sense if she's going to take the title back, it be from the person that took her out. The question is because I'm pretty sure Liv Morgan is going to be the champion when she does come back.
Yeah.
So I feel like maybe you have, if you're going to do that, have maybe her win another Rumble and then have her challenge Liv Morgan at Mania next year. I mean, I feel like you could have Liv Morgan hold it maybe from next week all the way to Mania next year. It's not out of the realm of possibility to build up as a champion and build up as a heel. And plus, she can probably have somebody by her side to kind of help her win a lot of the time. So you could do that.
Yeah. And she's definitely a person that I could see, you know, it's not out of the question that she's definitely she'll be a dominant heel with the championship. Yeah. And that would be an awesome, like, that could be a main event caliber match. Next year's WrestleMania, night 1, Rhea Ripley versus Liv Morgan for the women's championship.
Inside Hell in a Cell with their history. Because I feel like they're going to have a stipulation. With their rich history, it's calling for a stipulation. I feel like they need to end that feud very soon. Why not have it be inside Hell in a Cell?
You know what would be really cool to see?
Go for it.
For that match, 3 stages of hell, with the third one being Hell in a Cell. The third one being Hell in a Cell.
So the third stipulation, the first one's like 1-on-1, the second one's more like a street fight or something like that.
The third one's Hell in a Cell.
Or you can have, because I feel like people kind of compare their feud to maybe like Triple H and Shawn, where they could have been great tag team partners, but they were just better rivals. Remember, I think it was a stipulation that they had. I think they had so many matches over the span of 3 years, and I think they had a stipulation, I think, at Royal Rumble, and it was a last man standing, I think. And I think Triple H won that one. Why not have both of them at Royal Rumble at last woman standing?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, that just brought back flashbacks to
It
Triple
does.
H and Shawn Michaels. Oh my god, yeah. But definitely, I miss the 3 stages of hell matches. They haven't done one of those in a long time.
And I think they want to bring back more old pay-per-views. Why not bring back Armageddon?
Yep.
Unforgiven is another one I think I would love to see come back. Judgment Day, I would love to see come back.
Yeah,
like Judgment Day come back.
It only makes sense. And
it makes total sense in the world.
Because match specifically, I would like to come back is they haven't. I don't think they've done one in a long time, but a first blood match would be pretty sick. With them implementing more blood into WWE now.
Yeah, like Kevin Owens coming out last night covered in blood. Like that is crazy.
The fact that he still kept wanting to fight, that just shows Kevin Owens is one of those type of guys. You can put him down, but he does not stay down.
Yeah. And right now, we're in like a combination of the Attitude Era with the Ruthless Aggression Era, all of it together. Like that, like it's awesome. The Triple H era, Ruthless Aggression and Attitude being the 2 best eras in my opinion. Just incredible.
Absolutely.
And
I guess we can move into the last, Cody Rhodes versus AJ Styles, obviously being.
I forgot we didn't even touch on that. Oh my god!
I think Cody is winning. I think it's gonna be a great match, considering it's a match that we've never seen before. This gives me flashbacks to like Seth Rollins versus AJ at Money in the Bank 2019, a match that we never seen before, and the match was good, but it was very predictable in the same sentence because it's like, are you really going to have the person that beat Roman Reigns literally a couple weeks ago lose at the first pay-per-view he's defending it at? That would be so crazy and shocking. I feel like the wrestling world would just erupt. Just like, you literally just had this guy beat Roman Reigns and just lose to AJ. Really? It would be funny though. Don't get me wrong.
The thing is,
but
the thing that I hate right now is that I could see that happening, and I hate that I could see that happening.
With them giving it to AJ?
Yes, like I could see them giving it to AJ just to make the fans mad. Like what? Cody, the Cody movement for what? Like Cody movement for what? Like I could just see him doing that. Triple H just being like, you know what? F these fans.
He wakes up on the wrong side of the bed one day. He says, "You know what, Cody? You had your moment. I can't forgive you for breaking that throne that when you went to AEW that one time. I got to get you back for that one. Here you go. You're gonna lose tonight, AJ."
I know. That would be really funny. That would be so funny. Oh my god.
And then when we were talking about Chad Gable earlier, Chad Gable's winning the Intercontinental title. Give it to him at Backlash. If they're doing him and Sami as Backlash, give it to him.
Yeah, that's definitely gonna happen at Backlash.
Yeah.
Like, the thing that made me think about Kurt Angle so much is when he suplexed Sami Zayn out of his wife's hands. That is something that prime Perk Angle would have done.
People are calling him Perk Gable right now.
Yeah, Perk Gable. Bro. Oh my god.
I think if they want this to be an actual feud like they have been, why not make this a submission match?
Yeah. I could see that. I could see that. But this match needs a stipulation. Like, do you think they need a stipulation?
Yeah. I say submission. Because the last week we had him hanging up, him doing that ankle lock on Sami.
Yeah, but I mean like more of a stipulation than that. Like, I mean like one that allows them to beat each other. Like a
no DQ or something.
Yeah,
maybe
like
no bar.
Yeah. Maybe something like that.
Falls count anywhere, maybe.
Yeah, because it's like, remember we saw obviously Chad Gable when he lost his belt. It was in front of his wife and kids. Sami Zayn is obviously taking this to heart. Like, how can you like suplex me in front of my wife? Like,
when he lost in front of his wife too. So it's like, come on.
Yeah. So like just seeing that being like a no DQ match would be awesome.
Right.
And then if you wanted to during that match, you could see Chad Gable build that faction with the Creed brothers.
And help him win. Yeah.
Yeah. So that would be really cool.
Yeah, definitely looking forward to back. I think it's like a week from
Next Saturday.
No, not today. Like a week to
Yeah,
is the next Saturday?
it's May 4th, so it's literally like 2
weeks
weeks
from
because the draft
Or,
starts
yeah,
next
it's in, like, 2
Friday,
weeks.
and then that Monday before will be so pretty much we got like 2 weeks, like a week and a half.
Mm-hmm. I can't wait for that. I think Backlash is going to be one of those hidden gems.
Yeah, because especially if it's taking place early, I think the next 3 are taking place like early in the morning, not like chamber, but like 11, 12 during the day.
Yeah.
Which I'm okay with.
Cool. Yeah.
Definitely.
All right. So, guess that's where we're gonna wrap this up. So, thank you everyone who watched, and Backlash in 2 weeks. So, hope everyone enjoyed this, and we'll see you in the next one.
Yep.
Seriously.